What's the craziest way someone has tried to justify breaking the law? Last month, I'm eating breakfast and I see this random guy with a truck pull up to the house across from me. The Johnsons who live there just left for Europe the week before. They're retired teachers who saved up for years for this trip. So I'm watching this guy Vince start unloading paintbrushes and power washing equipment. At first, I figured maybe they hired someone to fix the place up while they were gone. Makes sense, right? Then I see him moving furniture around inside through the windows. That seemed weird, but maybe they wanted a deep clean or something. By day 3, this dude had hired a whole landscaping crew. New bushes, fresh mulch, the works. Their yard looked better than it had in years. I walked over and asked what was going on. Vince was super friendly, big smile, told me the Johnsons were close friends and asked him to house sit. Said he was just helping them out by sprucing things up as a surprise. Seemed legit. Guy was charming as hell. Even offered to help me fix my fence sometime. But then I'm driving home from work Thursday and I see a bright red for sale sign in their front yard. That's when I knew something was seriously messed up. I called the Johnsons that night. They were in Paris having dinner when I reached them. Mrs. Johnson started crying when I told her what was happening. They had no clue who Vince was. Never heard the name in their life. Mr. Johnson was so mad he could barely speak. So I called the cops, but Vince was ready for that. Dude pulls out this official-looking lease agreement in a plastic sleeve. All professional fonts and signatures and everything. Told the officers he was legally renting the property and had every right to improve it and sell it if he wanted. Said it wasn't his fault the owners forgot to mention their arrangement. The cop looked confused. Asked to see the paperwork. Vince handed it over like he was proud of it. Started explaining how he was doing property management and the Johnsons were overseas investors who wanted him to handle everything. Made up this whole story about how they met at some real estate seminar. But here's where it gets insane. While we're all standing there, this young couple pulls up. Apparently Vince had been giving house tours and these people drove 2 hours to see the place. They had cash ready to make an offer. Vince tells them the asking price and starts walking them around the yard pointing out all his improvements. The cops finally arrest him, but his defense was unbelievable. He kept saying he wasn't committing any crimes because he had documentation. Said breaking and entering doesn't count if you improve the property. That he was providing a valuable service by fixing up abandoned houses. The place wasn't abandoned. The owners were just on vacation. Then he claimed he was a real estate visionary who was streamlining the buying process. Said traditional home sales were too slow and bureaucratic. That he was revolutionizing the industry by cutting out the middleman being the actual owners. At the station, he told detectives he deserved a commission for all the work he put in. Said the Johnsons should thank him because their house was worth more now. Guy genuinely believed he was some kind of business genius instead of a criminal. The best part was when they searched his car and found fake business cards calling himself a property acquisition specialist. He had a whole briefcase full of blank lease agreements and phony letterhead. Turns out he'd been doing this for months in different neighborhoods. When the judge asked how he pleaded, he said not guilty because he was just practicing innovative real estate strategies. His lawyer looked like he wanted to disappear. Vince got 3 years for fraud and breaking and entering. The Johnsons got their house back but had to repaint everything because apparently Vince's color choices were terrible.